Big Terrible, Texas, where legends are born. Look.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I get that shit that dirt, you feel me? You know? You know, I got mine out that mud, you know what I'm saying? Nigga never gave me nothing, you know, I ain't never had for my hand out, nothing like that, you feel me? You know? I know how to hustle, get mine off the muscle, you know what I'm saying? Hey, yeah, hey. I get money cause I trap hard. You can have my city, I'm a trap star. When you roll running, gotta switch cars. Rock out with that chopper like a guitar. He really ain't no threat, he just ain't hard. Think this shit a game I won't go for. Goddamn, the cracker label me a dope boy. I couldn't even get no letters or no postcard. Ooh, 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 ooh. If you play, you lay with a K, you get knocked out your boo. If I lost it all today, I know what to do. Get a pack, flip that double back, get a trap, put a rack, let them stack till it go through the roof. Till it go through the roof. Everything happened for the better. Lost all my cheddar, but I got it back cause I don't let her. Nigga can't just see that I'm a stepper. I apply pressure, get your head the blues when I catch her. I've been getting money since a young and roll running. I've been stunting, made something out of nothing. Yo, I done served half of my city like really they could tell you how I really turned 50 to 100. I ain't with that cop and stuff. Been 100, you can add it up. You can get it if you really want it bad enough. Go when you broke, they gon' treat you like a joke. You gon' find that funny when you're back against the road. How you come across the coast with a bag full of dope? Keep that shit to yourself, cause nobody need to know. I fell in love with trapping, I'm a trap star. Why you think a nigga show the ass? I get money cause I trap hard. You can have my city, I'm a trap star. When you roll running, gotta switch cars. Rock out with that chopper like a guitar. He really ain't no threat, he just ain't hard. Think this shit a game I won't go for. Goddamn, the cracker label me a dope boy. I couldn't even get no letters or no postcard. Ooh, 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 ooh. If you play, you lay with a K, you get knocked out your boo. If I lost it all today, I know what to do.
You are on the bench with Bubba and Pink today. We are back, but without Bubba.
We actually on the bench with Black.
I was going to say
Pink.
that.
I'm just Black. These are the Temptations.
Bubba's out exploring life.
Exploring life. Is that what he called it?
That's what I called it. I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Sowing his royal oats.
Maybe he's using, I hope he's using his Overkink sex toys.
Overkink sex toys.
Yeah. Overkink.com, our show sponsor.
That's your first sponsor.
It is.
Overkink.com.
Very meaningful relationship.
Do you shop with Overkink?
I haven't, actually.
How, they sponsor you.
I know. I just haven't been in the market for sex toys lately.
You,
if I need one, I'll go.
I mean, but sure. In this generation, you use the sex toys just like regular sex. Okay. So just like it's not like back in the day where if you're not around, your wife take care of that with her toys. Now you have some play with the toys while you're there.
I hear it. Yeah, that's what the lady we had in the show last week, Jimmy Green, said.
Yeah, Overkink.
I get it.
And you what's the code?
Bubba Pink.
Bubba Pink, and you get how much off?
I'm not sure. It is a discount though, a valid discount.
How you supposed to know this? Your name is in the discount.
It is. So
go over to shop with Overkink.com. On the Bench with Bubba and Pink is brought to you by Overkink.com. You use the promo code Bubba Pink. You get a percentage off to get your kink on. No kink shaming. It's a free space. Whatever you want to do. I used a little toy action last night with my significant other, and it was the best. So now I got to go on Overkink and get some new shit.
I was gonna say, did you get that toy on Overkink.com?
No, but now I am because
and you're gonna use that discount.
Now I know the discount code.
All right, I appreciate it.
It's Bubba Pink.
There you go.
So shout out to Overkink.com. Bubba Pink. You use the code, you get some percentage off your toys. Use it with your partner or use it with yourself.
Whatever suits you.
Whatever suits you. We don't kink shame.
That's good. What we should shame though is drunk driving.
Did you see that?
Yeah, that's a pretty horrible story.
it's sad in many ways.
Absolutely.
So people who don't know, tell people what happened.
So Henry Ruggs, a wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders, was under the influence of alcohol, was apparently traveling about 150 plus miles per hour, and hit somebody in their car in the early morning hours of Tuesday. The woman in the car died with her dog. Ruggs
the woman that he was with, or
no, the woman in the car that he struck. That car went into flames. She passed away along with her dog. Henry had a female passenger who was injured and taken to the hospital. I have not heard anything specific on her injuries other than they were not apparently life-threatening injuries, but she was injured. He was arrested for the vehicular manslaughter with DUI. There was a mugshot in which he was wearing like a cervical collar indicating that he had some neck injury or whatever. And the team waived him today. He is, with a great degree of likelihood, going to be serving some real jail time for this incident. And it's tragic. Obviously, a woman lost her life in horrible circumstances. Another woman's injured. And a guy who had a promising NFL career is now out of the league and facing jail time.
Right, because he just got drafted last year.
I think 2 years. I think it's been like 2 years of the second year.
Yeah.
He was on those great Alabama teams with Nick Saban and was showing some promise as an NFL player. And it's the thing that I thought about. There's this like quote out there that you're defined more by your decisions than your abilities. And no matter what his physical talents as a football player are, his decision that morning to get in the car and do that defines the rest of his life.
Yeah, that's a dope ass quote. And me and Blu-ray was arguing over text about how much time you think he'd get.
Yeah, the article that I saw indicated that the range of sentencing could be as low as 2 years, as high as 20 years. When I first read that, I didn't realize the speed involved in this, 150 plus miles per hour. That's, there's not going to be a lot of mitigation, I would think.
So what's the difference between him and Dante Stallworth when this happened with Dante?
I was talking to Bub about that. And again, I'm relying on facts that he presented to me. Dante Stallworth was under the influence of alcohol. He struck a pedestrian who died as a result of that accident. Now, Bubba was telling me that one of the differences there, and he still served some time in jail. It was fairly minimal, I think 90 days. Mm-hmm. But apparently the pedestrian was jaywalking. And so there was some issue of mitigation because that person was in some way negligent and contributed to causing the accident. That's something that a court would look at when they're doing this. If you're pissed drunk but you're driving within the speed limit and you have right of way and somebody hits you, you still have potentially a claim.
So because he was like super over the speed limit, like
right.
felonious already.
Yeah.
Even if he got pulled over, he was going to jail.
Yeah. And then again, my understanding is that he rear-ended this vehicle. So in most states, I know here in Florida, if you rear-end somebody, almost no matter what, you're on the hook for that accident.
Right.
There's not a lot of explanation for rear-ending somebody.
Right.
So I just don't see so far that each fact that's come out so far, there's not one that says, maybe there's some other fault here, or maybe there's something that makes this not quite as bad as it seems. Every fact seems to be piling up to this is every bit as bad as it seems. And in that, you would think the sentencing would reflect that, and you might find something further up in the in the 10 to 20 range than you would closer to 2.
You think 10 to 20?
My guess if I had to guess would be something 5 to 7.
And I didn't think it'd be that high. I argue it'd be like 18 months.
Yeah, I just think right now my understanding, and if I may have this wrong, in Nevada it's a 2 years to 20, so the minimum would be 2. But I just think like there's nothing to look at and say, man, let's cut this guy a break because there's nothing there.
But when you think they cut him a break because he doesn't have much of a history and
I don't know. I really don't. It depends on this. If he's has no other history, if he potentially appears genuinely remorseful, which I hope he would, in any court appearance, maybe there's something there. But I don't see a lot just on the facts of the accident. I mean, it's as bad as you can get.
It's just super unfortunate because
Yeah.
two years tops in the league. 2020 he got drafted.
Yeah.
He a promising career by all accounts.
Yeah, it's playing. I mean, playing well.
He's an Alabama alumni. He was going to get a fair shake in the league,
For sure.
and so he kind of ruined his career, ruined his life.
Yeah. And we're just talking right now about the criminal side of this.
Right.
There's a civil side that's going to go forward regardless, and there's going to be a wrongful death claim on the civil side, and his passenger will also have a personal injury claim for whatever her injuries turn out to be. Now, he has insurance, I would assume, but somebody who has money, NFL money, you could potentially have a judgment against you for pretty much anything that he's got.
Yeah, but if he fighting a manslaughter case, he's gonna spend that in litigation anyway.
Right, and so I mean, realistically, he's looking at a scenario where between fighting the criminal case with counsel, fighting the civil suits, even if he gets a modest 2-year sentence, he's facing financial ruin.
But that's the least of his worries, really. I mean, because it's just making bad decisions. Him being young, him having money, him having access. That's what it is. Him having access to excess. So now he's making decisions or not making decisions based on the fact that he got money. He's young and he's plays professional football. I mean, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not a direct parallel, but it's in a weird way. There was a baseball pitcher for the Marlins a couple years back that got drunk and might have even had some cocaine or whatever, and he crashed his boat and killed himself in an incident.
He was like, what was his name?
I forget his name. He was a Hispanic player, Hispanic name. But he was a young guy who had a lot of promise in baseball. But and I'm not saying it's some way better, but in a way, he harmed himself with his decision, and he lives with that. Unfortunately, here,
he doesn't live with it. Yeah,
you're right. You're right. He doesn't live with it. But it's almost somehow worse that this girl dies. She pays her life for his bad decision.
So where does this rank? Since we're comparing that, where does this rank with all time ruin my career decisions when it comes to sports?
Below Ray Caruth. He shot his
pregnant girlfriend.
Yeah, that's a bad one. I'd put that at the top.
And then hitting the truck. That was. This isn't funny.
That's a calculated, I'm doing this on purpose thing. Like, that's not even like I'm being super dumb.
Right. Well, the way if people who don't know about Ray Caruth, I'll give you the privilege of just Googling it and just listening, just going through all of, because it was a case of you're too stupid to do this.
You would think you're too stupid to do it. Like, come on.
Just the events that led up to him having his wife killed. I mean, having the mother of his child killed while she was pregnant, and then trying to get away with it was a series of stupid events. The kid actually lived.
Yes.
And the kid, like, he's like is he like an upper teenager at this point? He's like an adult, but he's
okay.
But he's like I'm trying to think of the nice way to say, like, he's mentally, like, he's like not like a normal person.
Was that a result of the shooting?
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise,
because I think that she wasn't to term yet, and so she had to give birth.
Oh, okay. Just in an attempt to save his life.
Right.
To give birth prematurely, and that left him with some mental.
And I think Ray Caruth's out now.
Is he out?
I don't know. I think it was out, and he was trying to meet the kid.
Really?
Yeah, I think I read that somewhere.
That's gonna be a strange conversation. This wasn't about you, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ray Caruth is at the top.
That stands way up there.
Second has to be.
Who do you got?
It has to be the man in the Bronco.
OJ.
OJ
Okay.
in the Bronco. And even though he wasn't found guilty, and people can say whatever if he did it or not, even though you came out with a book, if I did it,
Yeah.
this is how I would do it.
This is exactly how
Hypothetically, this is exactly how it happened or would happen if it was me who did this. But definitely, I use OJ as a metaphor for when men cheat. So when I have like my female friends, I tell them like I say men are basically essentially just OJ. And
What does that mean?
I'll tell you.
Please do.
It's like OJ when he got in that Bronco and he's driving down the highway.
Yeah.
With his partner. He didn't have a plan. He just jumped in that fucking Bronco, and he was gonna figure it out.
Once they get in the Bronco, all my thoughts will clear up.
Right. So men, we just are just OJ in that Bronco, and you got to give us grace.
Jesus.
But that I know that was a weird segue into that, but
Yeah.
so it's definitely Ray Caruth, it's OJ,
Well, Aaron Hernandez has to be up there.
Aaron Hernandez. He might be before OJ. Because he was a fucking serial killer.
Yeah, he was.
He was just he was killing people.
Yeah.
He on the hook for like 3 murders.
Yeah. Yeah.
So damn, Aaron Hernandez.
He's up there.
And then he end up like being gay.
Well, I would. That's one thing. Did you see that program? There was the one program that really sort of painted him as being a closeted homosexual.
Yes.
I watched it. It just felt weird. I don't know. I didn't feel like watching that I was very confident that this was accurate.
Normally I don't really believe like these post stories and like theories.
Yeah.
But it felt like he could have been a closet homosexual.
So you definitely felt watching that
because they showed like his lover, and then I heard they talked to like his old high school quarterback that's supposed to like had a relationship.
That guy seems super weird. That I didn't feel comfortable with what he said.
Yeah,
he seemed very strange.
Either Aaron Hernandez like bullied him and like stole his girlfriend, or they were gay lovers. Because that's the only motivation.
But I guess the thing is when I watched him talk, I felt that was 50-50.
Right.
I couldn't tell one way or the other.
I don't think that I would admit that I was gay lovers with someone.
Yeah.
Especially like if it wasn't found out. And then my mind goes to overkink.com. Like who was bottom, who was top.
And did they implement sex toys?
Right. How did this happen? Where did this come from?
And unfortunately for both of those guys, the Bubba Pink discount was not in effect at that time.
Right. So damn, so we're gonna go Ray Caruth is 1.
Yeah.
We're gonna go Aaron Hernandez is 2.
Then OJ.
And then OJ.
And then Henry Ruggs, I guess.
Is it Henry Ruggs? Let's think. Henry Ruggs.
Is there anybody else out?
I mean, Jamarcus Russell, but his shit seems pedestrian with these guys.
Yeah, there's no loss of life.
He just was stupid.
Yeah, he's a dumb guy. We have plenty of those.
Yeah, so I guess Ruggs is 4th. Who's 5th?
Maybe Dante Stallworth.
We'll say Dante Stallworth. Even though Dante Stallworth kind of rebounded, even though someone lost their life.
He did. He was able to actually get back in the league briefly.
Right. That's a win because I argue with Ray today. Like I feel like this kid's gonna get 18 months tops.
Okay.
And he's gonna find a way to get
back into football.
A cup of water of football.
Okay.
Maybe on a practice squad, it'll make the headlines like a redemption story. Maybe play a game, maybe not play a game. But I think practice squad at this point would be a win.
Oh, it would be a win
if he did 3 years.
Things, yeah, if he does
3 years.
Yeah.
All the best. It's hard to talk about. Hard to make light. Not I want to say make light, but hard to like kind of have like a lighthearted conversation when people lost their lives. Man is going to lose his livelihood. He can't be, how old is he? He can't be older than 24.
23, maybe.
Maybe 23.
Yeah.
Lost his livelihood, lost his dream that he worked hard for, and just making a dumb decision, man. especially when there's opportunities for you to get a Lyft and get an Uber or.
I heard something again. Bubba told me that NFL teams have a drive service available to players.
That would make sense.
And yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I just never heard of it before. But if you're an NFL player on a team, you can call the team drive service. They'll pick you up from wherever you are, get you home, get you to wherever your next location is. I mean, in the age of Uber and Lyft and all these other things, drunk driving is literally inexcusable. It's so unnecessary.
It's so weird. Especially, don't get me wrong, drunk driving is stupid for just regular Joe Blow, regular me.
Yeah.
But it's a different level of stupidity when you the bag.
Yeah.
When you are making generational or life change, maybe not even generational. I don't know his contract situation, but just personal life changing money. And you're out, because I know he wasn't in Vegas with himself. Somebody has to have a wherewithal to be like, hey, you the bag. You're not driving.
Right.
So that not to say that anybody's obligated to do that, but it would make sense if you with somebody who your livelihood depends on their livelihood. And
you would think if you're out with anybody that cares about you.
Right.
That they would be like, hey, I'll take you, or whatever. I'll get you an Uber. Like, any friend that you have, if you had just drank too much, or me, any friend that values me would be like, hey, I'm not letting
you're not driving. You're not driving.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, if he's doing at least 50 miles over the speed limit, then maybe people don't have that control or don't have that over him to be able to do that for him, because he obviously is not making the crispest of decisions.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's catastrophic decision making on many levels.
But to everybody involved, man, we wish you well. Let's play a little music and then we'll be right back, man.
Sounds good.
Cool, baby, get in. Yo, let your seat back. Go roll the windows down too, baby. Yo, I see you chewing on ice.
Wanna fill up your cup, just say that. Wanna jump in the truck, just say that. Yeah, I ride with a truck, don't say that. She like, maybe wanna fuck when you say that. Back then, ain't payment, it's payment. Just you going crazy, say that. Came a long way from shopping at Payless. Oh, you want a Versace, say less. But you already know where it's at. Real big coins, nigga, 4X that. Pass me the ball, I'ma score, that's a fact. And one put keys on the floor under the mat, cause the boy taught us that we poor if we black. Order a track of glorious life for your family and all of your kids. You gotta water it tap. Damn, I should've started with that. We used to walk to McDonald's when niggas had problems. Niggas already had Big Macs. I'm not a rapper, I'm an artist. Shit, baby, that garbage. I heard this shit got want me to pay them, paid it. It's money at the door, that band. Oh, you don't like the rules, don't play then. And if broke niggas don't deserve pussy, what you gonna do for a K then?
Get it, yo.
Wanna fill up your cup, just say that. Wanna jump in the truck, just say that. Yeah, I ride with a truck, don't say that. She like, maybe wanna fuck when you say that. Back then, ain't payment, it's payback. Just you going crazy, say that. Came a long way from shopping at Payless. Oh, you want a Versace, say less. Look, got your head did it up, but keep that head down and sit it up. 1942 to simmer up. Used to be sunny, then 7 up. I went to school to show mama love. You either rap, ballin' or selling drugs. Construction, real estate, or driving trucks. Cutting hair, touching niggas up. Can't trust the construct, niggas stuck. Can't muster up, nothing much to say. I went to fam, she went to Florida State. She used to like white boys, but it's straight. God answer prayers, I ain't even say. Like all you fuck niggas in the way. This my life like Mary J. And I'm on E like Terrence J. Before I let you go, I gotta let you stay. But if you wanna leave, don't hesitate. We grown now, we can't punch the brakes. What you say? Wanna fill up your cup, just say that. Wanna jump in this truck, just say that. Yeah, I ride with a truck, don't say that. She like, maybe wanna fuck when you say that. Back then, ain't payment, it's payback. Just you going crazy, say that. Came a long way from shopping at Payless. Oh, you want a Versace, say less.
And if broke niggas don't deserve pussy, what you gonna do for a K then? 5K, 10K. She like, maybe wanna fuck when you say that.
And we back, man.
Back on the bench with Black and Pink.
Black and Pink, that got a nice ring to it.
It does.
We kind of don't need Bubba no more, man.
He's been obsoleted.
But I wanted to touch on since this is my show for tonight. I wanted to touch on the NBA. I'm more into like NBA basketball, that kind of stuff, and so
as opposed to what?
as opposed to
Drunk driving?
drunk driving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Makes
that's no fun. Well, it actually is fun, but that's another story. But early on, there's a lot of like stories.
Yep.
It's been a while since we had real stories in the NBA because with the bubble, they had these false stories where they kind of, well, not false stories, but kind of like making stories out of anything.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't really much going on, and it was kind of
At least not outside of Rachel Nichols' room.
right. Yeah, she was getting old, Jimmy, but
And new Jimmy.
and the new Jimmy. But this year,
Does Jimmy seem like a 3-hole guy?
yes,
Oh, I like
yes. I mean, Rachel seems like a
Three-hole girl.
Yeah, I like Rachel. I see what you were doing there, Jimmy. Shout out to you. Rachel got a little. She like she can braid hair.
Hats off to Rachel.
But also,
And all 3 of her holes.
amen to that. Nickels in her nickels. So the early surprises.
Yes.
A lot of these aren't surprises to me because I kind of, for
Felt
at
it
least
coming.
at the beginning, I kind of saw it coming.
Okay.
So we'll do the early fast starts. And then we'll probably touch on the Lakers. But a lot of the fast starts is Chicago, the new look Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, a lot of people were high on the Bulls before the season started. I was not sold, but so far they're delivering. They're playing very well.
But why weren't you sold?
I just wasn't sure. Like to me, DeMar DeRozan's like past his peak. I like Zach LaVine.
He don't look it. He don't look it.
Right, no, I mean, but not, he looks great right now. I was unsure the impact of Lonzo Ball, and I don't think Vooch is very good. He doesn't move the needle for me. But collectively, they're doing great.
I think it's Orlando Magic bias with Vooch because Vooch actually is perfect for this team, and I think the thing with DeMar DeRozan is he just kind of got lost in San Antonio, just by the way Pop coaches, and it's more like a team environment.
I agree with you, but I was also like, he's not young anymore. And so I was kind of like, how much is the way the Spurs play? How much is he's maybe getting a little older, not quite what he was used to?
It looks like it's the Spurs
Mostly the
play.
Spurs. You're right. But that's why you asked why I didn't, buy in
Right.
early. I just was a little surprised, but pleasant surprise for them. They're fun to watch too, so that's positive.
I mean, because he's master of the mid range right now. He looking like Kobe in like 05.
05 Kobe.
But and I like Lonzo.
I do.
Because I think that the dust is settled with Lonzo, and we know what we get with Lonzo.
100% agree with that.
And so and Lonzo is shooting at least like Seth Curry.
Seth can shoot it.
Yeah,
man.
so he's at least Seth Curry. He's become a dependable spot up 3-point shooter.
He might be cheating Mom Curry.
You think so?
Yeah, he ain't. Seth can really shoot.
Maybe Sydney Curry, but also he's long. He's willing to play defense. He's long.
Yeah.
He's athletic and he's smart.
Yeah, I love him as a passer. I do. I like him. And I think you're right, though. I think the dust is like he's been in the league long enough. He's played enough games. We know what he is, and it's not a superstar, but it's a good NBA player.
Right. He's gonna be he's gonna be a good NBA player for a while.
Yeah.
I think the only jury that's out with the Bulls is what is Zach LaVine? Is he a superstar? Is he just an all-star that needs another superstar?
I would go more in that category. And I think when you look at, like, when people are hyping up a team like the Bulls, and then you're going to say, well, how far can they get to an Eastern Conference final? Can they get to a final? I look at it and say, I don't see a superstar on that roster.
Right.
And that's probably why I think, when the rubber meets the road in the playoffs, I don't see them getting to the I'll be shocked if they get to the conference final. They could win a series.
Man,
I just don't know that they get to the conference final.
I think that depends on the coaching. Because
big factor, yeah.
because they have enough talent and they're deep enough that they could do a Pistons in 05, what is it?
They're like the Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, that group of Pistons. Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, they had Larry Brown as coach, and Billy Donovan ain't Larry Brown.
That's true. But it's if they were more defensive minded because they have the perimeter play on defense where they could be dominant on defense.
Yeah.
But also on the flip coin of Lonzo is LaMelo.
And they've been good.
They've been good, but I think LaMelo, not LaMelo, but the team is fool's gold.
There's some questions. Now, I think LaMelo has a chance to be a superstar. The guy that's been really impressive with them is Miles Bridges so far.
Miles Bridges, he's super athletic.
He's taken a leap, though. I mean, he's doing it every night at a high level. They got Gordon Hayward, who appears healthy, and I think the dust has settled on him post-injury.
Right.
I think he's comfortable with what he can and can't do
and
now.
Gordon Hayward has a fucking phenomenal agent because he keeps getting paid.
Yes, he does.
This guy keeps getting paid. But I like Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
I like LaMelo. I like Miles Bridges. I like Terry Rozier. I just think they don't have enough on the bench.
Yeah.
And they need a superstar. I think the league is trying to make LaMelo a superstar, and I think that he's going to be slightly better than Lonzo.
Okay.
And
time will tell, but no, I don't strongly disagree with that.
I like him. He gets a lot of rope right now.
Yeah.
To do the things that he does, and he kind of has like a Patrick Mahomes kind of way of playing, where it's kind of like trick ball.
It's fun. It's entertaining.
Right, it's fun.
You're gonna see a few things that like, oh damn, look at that.
Is it going to win you games in the playoffs when the court gets restricted and people are serious? Probably not. And that's when we're going to see when it boils down.
And what I was going to say with the Charlotte team, I think it would be enormous for them to make the playoffs and have a chance to compete in that environment. I don't think they're ready to succeed in that environment, but I think it's critical for their growth as a team to at least get to the playoffs this year, and then you're going to see. A guy like Melo's got to experience that. Now,
True.
Can I function in playoff series? How do I deal with this? Do my tricks work, or do I need to kind of have a different little way of playing
Right.
when it matters like that?
And I don't know. I think maybe he'll come to that crossroad.
Yeah.
And how the team handles that crossroad is how he's going to handle it for the rest of his career. Meaning, if they don't say, hey, all right, you got to stop with the bullshit at the playing around in the playoffs, or if they just allow him to just do that, he's going to throw the ball away and he's going to put up good numbers and they're not going to win games.
Yeah. But I guess my point being, the crossroads is getting into the playoffs and being in that fire.
Right.
And it's important that they get there this year. It's not so important immediately that they progress through the playoffs, because I just don't think they're capable of right now. But
Right.
they need the growth of getting there.
Right. And another, not even, again, like these three, like they're not really surprising to me, but people, because they're kind of new look, this is actually like an older team, but has a bunch of role players, and it's the Golden State Warriors.
I like the Warriors this year.
I
like them.
I love the Warriors.
Yeah. And we still haven't seen Clay yet, and we'll see him before this is over. And James Wiseman hasn't played it. And they're just, again, they're hugely fun to watch.
Very fun to watch.
And then they're winning. They've got a great mentality. I love the Warriors. I'm rooting for them, and I'm not ready to say that they can win the West yet. When we see those other two pieces back playing and see how it's gelling, then maybe we could make that type of discussion. But I'm just happy to see that they're back.
Right. And it's like I don't know if you could say that Steph Curry is underrated, but what he does on the basketball court is super underrated.
Yes.
The attention that he draws, how thin he stretches the floor, because people are so focused on his shooting, and rightfully so. He gets these people open. I mean, he stretched the court so thin that he's made Draymond Green a Hall of Famer. I don't think Draymond would really get a lot of playing time longer than 3 years in this league without being on this Warrior team.
I don't think that it's that bad for Draymond, but he was blessed to end up where he was because it absolutely maximized what he is.
Right.
And I think, he would just be a random hard playing guy on 90% of the other teams.
Right. He probably get 20 minutes off the bench.
Yeah. But not do anything. And yeah, like you said, and I wouldn't necessarily hesitate too much to put him in the Hall of Fame because it's this Warriors era.
Oh, he's definitely a Hall of Famer for sure. He's all just off sheer what he's done on the defensive side of the ball. He's won. He's been a part of a winning culture. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Now here's a not so popular take. If they trade for that guy in Philadelphia,
Bubba's best friend,
Bubba's favorite player. If they trade for Ben Simmons and they get him for cheap, like maybe Otto Porter and the vaccine kid,
okay,
and maybe a couple picks, they're a favorite.
They could be
to me.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side of the surprises is, I guess we'll say the work in progresses. For one, we have the Lakers.
Yeah.
Which I think if you really have an understanding of basketball, you knew that would be like a work in progress. And I don't think it'll get a lot better. I think they'll win games off sheer talent, but they won't be very good at the end.
Yes, I completely agree. There is so much talent that they are going to win games. They're not going to win like 30 games and lose 50.
Right.
They're going to win their share of games. They're too talented not to. But I think that the roster is just fatally flawed in construction.
Right.
And at some point in the playoff process, those flaws will be exposed and they'll get beat.
Right. Now, with Russell Westbrook, Russell Westbrook is like, it's the weirdest thing because have you ever seen someone who has averaged a triple-double, who's averaged a triple-double, for 4 out of the last 5 years?
Did you say it 3 times to tribute to the triple-double?
I was trying to multitask. But I think that stat's a bullshit stat, but that's another story. He's averaged a triple-double for 4 of the last 5 years, but he doesn't have a really good feel for the game. It's weird because and I know why he's averaging a triple-double. He found like a what do you call like a glitch in small ball. He found a glitch in small ball. There's nobody at the rim to rebound. He's an excellent stat patter.
Yeah.
He sags off jump shooters to go get rebounds. I mean, I can tell you how he gets the numbers, so I get how he gets the numbers.
Offensively, he's a high usage guy. That's what he does.
Right.
Like and as a result of having the ball a lot and attacking a lot, he is going to generate assists because defenses collapse. They have to respond to him. His problem is he is like a one-man gang of basketball. And if you want to play to his strengths, you kind of just let him go and put a few shooters around him and a few defensive parts, and you do the best you can with that. That is not a recipe for winning a title. That's just a recipe for being a competitive team and vaguely entertaining.
Right.
But when you play with other high-level guys, which he's now put himself again in a situation with the Lakers, you have to mold your game to what's needed. And he's literally like a one-trick pony. This is what he does.
And you know what I notice is like it's like people, the commentators and like the sports writers, it's like they won't acknowledge the flaw. Like they'll just say, "Oh, we got Russell Westbrook. We need Russell." But Russell Westbrook is like not a very good basketball player.
Not for this Lakers
Right.
team. I mean, LeBron's 37 years old. He does not want to play at a breakneck pace.
Right.
He wants to play at a pace that he's comfortable at, asserts himself when he knows to do so.
Right.
He doesn't want to chase a guy up the floor to become a part of a fast break.
Right.
With all night. He'll pick his spots and do it.
And so since they have no choice now, I think the best fit for Westbrook is for him to be with the second unit.
I agree with you. Let him sustain the team with the second unit when you're resting the other players. Let him do his one-man gang thing.
But his ego won't let him do that.
His ego won't let him do it, and just even logistically, like the staggering of the minutes, there's going to be minutes when they play together. You have to come to some reasonable way of doing that. And I mean, and the reality is, it was an underlying theme in OKC with KD.
Right.
It was really the reason with James Harden in Houston it never really got going.
Right.
The Wizards are so fucking irrelevant it didn't matter what happened. But this is the thing. How does he coexist with other talented players?
And it's like, in each of those places, because he's a likable person, it was never really an issue in the locker room. But on the court, you can see that it was a shit show.
Yeah. And I mean, I really haven't read a bad word about him as a guy.
Right.
He seems, by almost all accounts, to be a good dude. Tries to do the right stuff as a teammate and just a person. I agree. It's just unfortunate. I mean, and I don't get what the Lakers were thinking. And maybe they were just thinking, let's just stack these names together. And people. That's exactly what
LeBron was thinking, because LeBron is the GM.
Yeah.
So we know that this is LeBron's call because they had Buddy Hield on the hook, which was an amazing fit for that team.
Yeah, really.
And they blew it.
Yep.
And so speaking of what were they thinking? Let's switch gears to Jada Future Hendrix Pinkett Smith.
Future Hendrix. Okay.
Did you see her in the news again?
I seen her in the news again. She seems to be in the news every couple weeks for something.
Why does she keep doing this to Will?
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve this.
Why does he tolerate it? What does he lose by kicking her to the curb?
I think that she has Erykah Badu pussy. That's a real thing, Pink.
I haven't
Erykah Badu pussy.
Really?
Yes.
Would she cast like a fucking spell on you, or what?
It's mythical. It's a lot of things that's around it that I don't know. I've only heard stories.
August Alsina's not recovered.
No, he's wearing like blouses out. He's wearing like robes to regular places like Hugh Hefner. She definitely has Erykah Badu pussy.
God almighty.
Now what that consists of? That's like the Bush baked beans recipe. I don't know what's in it. It's been highly coveted and guarded, but just she got Will crying like this is like Muhammad Ali.
I did not like him in that movie.
You didn't like Muhammad Ali?
I didn't like that movie.
Oh,
He did when he played Muhammad Ali.
No, but I like Jamie Foxx playing Bundini.
Yeah.
Was amazing.
Yeah.
But why she keep doing this to Will?
Yeah,
It's so no, but what I'll say, like, so when she was in the, so people who are watching on the bench with Bubba and Pink, and they didn't see the headlines, I guess she basically got misquoted, to be honest, on purpose. But I think it's just because of her past history of her just saying weird things that or abnormal things as far as relationships go. But she said that she I think the quote that they quoted her was like she longs for real love.
Okay.
I think that was the quote, but it was so many different quotes. But what they took from her, she was talking about not expecting your partner to read your mind. What she was actually saying was like valid things. It's just the media has figured out a way to like take little clickbait things from her because she says things that are abnormal. But she was basically just saying that you shouldn't expect your partner to read your mind, especially in sex. Oh, that's what the headline was, that she's not getting pleased sexually.
Sexually, okay.
Right. But the more drawn out conversation was her just saying that you have to communicate with your partner, especially sexually, so that she knows how to please you or she knows how to please you.
That's a valid point.
Yeah.
I mean, standing by itself, that's a completely valid point.
Right. It's just the messenger, so we shoot her. But what she's saying is very valid. You should communicate with your partner.
Yeah.
You should use overkink.com. Use the Bubba Pink code.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to do to please your
So if your partner craves the use of toys in addition to whatever you bring to the table,
right,
that they need to communicate that.
Exactly. What that's at least like you.
I mean, it's valid because like if you sit there and this is really your thing, you like to integrate the person and the toys,
right?
But you don't actually say that,
right?
The guy or the girl is never gonna know that.
Yeah, you'll never know because and especially we have this thing where we just it's more of a woman thing, to be honest. So it's kind of cool that she thinks like that, but women expect you to just know what's going on.
Yeah.
They expect you to just know. Oh, you should just know. We've been together this long. You should know how I feel. Like, no, we're different people.
Right. Exactly.
So I think it's very valid that if you are not being pleasured in the bedroom, speak on it.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like you're being heard in your relationship, speak on it.
Yeah.
So
I think it's like a weird, like, kind of taboo thing though for some people to discuss it. They feel that it like could affect somebody's confidence, or they'll feel like they're being controlling or something, or they fear that it may be read as being controlling.
True.
And that, I would prefer that you do this, and then, now you're telling me what to do. I got to take out the trash, and I got to do this. Like, what the fuck's going on here?
But even that shit is valid because I full candor. I open and honest with my girl, and I let her know that you have open space to say, if I'm not pleasing, you let me know. And then one day she was like, well, lately you ain't been doing what I need you to do. And that shit hurt my little ego.
Okay, your little ego.
Right. My big
big ego is fine.
Yeah.
Little ego took a dent.
It hurt. I tried for it not to fuck with me.
But it did.
But it did.
See? Okay.
And I had to be honest with myself, and I had to be honest with her, and then we were able to honestly communicate, man.
There you go.
So shout out to Jada for opening the floodgates for that conversation. But maybe
open those floodgates to open other floodgates.
Both.
I know. They're connected. You're going to drown somebody up in this bitch.
Maybe you not be the messenger for these things. Because it's killing Will.
Poor guy.
In our downtown, before we go to our next musical break, man, people who don't know me, if you've enjoyed me so far on Bubba and Pink, I do have a YouTube channel. It's Jusblack TV. It's JUS_BLACK space capital T capital V. I have interviews. I have excerpts from my podcast, the Arrogant Asshole podcast. Also starting a new one-on-one podcast about pop culture called I Might Be Late on Monday. So Jusblack TV on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications. We have a lot of fun stuff on the way to 1,000 subscribers. And once we get to 1,000 subscribers, then we'll release a lot more content, a lot more fun things, man. Bubba, how you been, Bubba? I ain't seen you in a while, man.
Bubba's on the phone?
No, I mean Pink. I
I'm good, man. I saw you a couple weeks back. You called in a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
we had a good talk on Markeith Lloyd and some related issues.
People were tuned into that one, man.
I enjoyed that. That was good. We touched upon some stuff that needed to be said.
The Markeith Lloyd, they rested.
They've rested. So
yeah, they rested.
The jury, the jury has the case.
Yep.
Okay.
So we'll I mean, we touched on it a little bit then when they were kind of prolonging it. Hopefully they do the right thing, or at least what I would think is the right thing.
Right.
It's been a wild ride.
It's been a long, wild ride for sure.
I seen some kid like dressed up as Markeith Lloyd for Halloween. You see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
really?
Man. Like when he's in the bandages and shit.
Jeez, that's interesting.
Pretty wild.
That is pretty wild.
I hate to laugh because it's clown shit, man. But
that is for real. That's very interesting.
Condolences to everybody involved.
Yeah. So I guess if the jury has it, we might have a verdict by the end of the week. I would think.
Soon.
Yeah.
hopefully before Thanksgiving, so we can get back to
hopefully
regular life.
by Friday. Those people don't want to be holed up deliberating that long.
Yeah,
they have lives to get back to.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty like. Well, I don't want to say it's cut and dry, but to me, it feels cut and dry.
Yeah,
I would
should
say.
be cut and dried. But I'm saying though, like the jurors on a case, they don't want to be there indefinitely.
True.
You know, they have lives to get back to, and there's a lot of restrictions when you're on a jury.
We going Bubba's is off doing whatever he's doing, but he's keep on hitting me to play this one song, and so I'm gonna play it. It's from my boy Juju Osborne, and it's called Vagabond. Y'all check it out.
This one goes out to Bubba. Long distance.
My little nigga homeless in these streets, he a vagabond. He be sending me beats and telling me which ones I should brag upon. He be keeping the peace, but he still in the streets with his hazards on. Can't give him a helping hand, he might use it to blast at homes. What? Hold up. Had to let that breathe when you catch it, just pass it on. DJ P. Alright, run it back. This shit deep, people ought to know trespassing zones. Blame the politicians, whatever bill they keep passing on. What happened when the church go virtual and the pastor gone? And the girl you like replied to one of them rappers that's on. He finally see that life's about money, I'm happy for him. DJ P, get your money up, nigga. Keep your head up. It's not gonna always be sunny, it's a catastorm. DJ P, gonna be brighter days for sure. But you gon' always stay broke if that cast alone. I met Jay Electronica, he ain't know who the fuck I was, or that I'm out here fighting for justice with my nigga Justice, he a blood. I introduced him to Big Sean though, and remind him I ain't signed though, just to show him that he can do it, it'll take time though. DJ P, what happened? He called a charge and facing time a second time though. I'm doing fraud, but I still be at work on time though. Let's keep it real, this how the system was designed though. And no, I shouldn't be rapping this good, I'm 29 though. People always tell me keep going, I might retire though. Keep comparing me to J. Cole, I'm not surprised though. DJ P, twin. Never fold under pressure, I got that iron though. DJ P, straight man. Why? Shit get real even if you ain't on that type of time though. Nigga fuck that, load up the truck or get the fuck back. Nigga sweep your block with a broom, them niggas is dust max. Juju act a goddamn fool, get off my nutsack. Back when I thought you was cool, we took the F-cat. DJ P, nigga that was 15 years ago, you gotta accept that. Alright, what else? I hit your B, I'm on the low, she wanna stepdad. I can't even imagine where I'd be without my stepdad. A father figure that taught me a lot about niggas and went to step back. Guess what come before a major comeback, minor setback. And I just might vote for Trump in our next celebrity death match. Calm down, bro, you ain't tripping. I'll fuck with you until you say that.
You are back on the bench with Black and Pink tonight.
That was Vagabond by Juju Osborne. Shout out to Juju Osborne, man.
Long distance dedication to Bubba.
Yeah, man. I spoke to Juju a little bit briefly, man. He got some. He been in the studio with some fun guys, man. So he got some fun stuff coming out, man. But over the break, he was telling me a little bit about this Aaron Rodgers thing, man.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers has tested positive for COVID, and he's going to miss this week's game against the Chiefs. The interesting thing that I read is that he apparently lied about getting vaccinated. Now, people still get COVID when they're vaccinated, but he has apparently not been vaccinated, got COVID, but had been maintaining a lie the entire season. And Kyrie Irving, on the other side of this, has not played yet this season and may not play this season because he is not vaccinated himself, and I guess chose to be honest about it, which is interesting.
So he should have just lied.
That
At
could
this
have been the
point.
move. So I'm vaccinated. Let's go. Who said I'm not? So, I don't know. I mean, like, it's really kind of a shitbird move, but I think Aaron Rodgers just like I don't know if you saw, like, when he first got to camp, he kind of did a press conference where he kind of tore up the organization.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Because he was trying to like get traded or cut.
Yeah, he had wanted to move on, and they kind of, didn't agree to move him on, and so he kind of came in, and he's been like, kind of on fire on and off the field all year. So I think he's officially reached the zero fucks given.
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah,
this motherfucker said he had the vaccine and did not have it at all.
No, I just
It got.
I'm a lie to the whole league. I'm gonna play at an MVP level. I'm gonna tear up my organization. I just don't care. I'm fucking Aaron Rodgers.
He balling too,
Yeah,
man.
that's what I'm saying. Like, what are you? You can't. My shit doesn't stink, man. I'm not vaccinated and I'm good. So it'll be interesting to see because, and again, this again goes or potentially falls into one of these things. Does a white athlete get a media pass? Will this blow over easily, or will he be vilified for the lying and the nonsense? Versus the way Kyrie's been kind of kicked about for his position on this.
Yeah, this shit like a soap opera at this point, man.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Because Kyrie, well, there's a new mayor in New York, right? As of yesterday.
Yeah, I read in there's a new mayor in New York. I believe he takes office officially January 1st, and he went on record today saying he's going to revisit the vaccination policy. Now, if he changes that rule, it could allow Kyrie to play without getting vaccinated in games in New York and games everywhere. I think California would be the only state where you still wouldn't be able to do that. But my guess at that point, if New York changes that, the Nets would welcome him back to play and just deal with a handful of games in the West Coast that he wouldn't be able to participate in.
Or the Nets could just move to Wisconsin.
They should have already done that if that was the objective. Or Florida, we don't give a damn.
I mean, speaking of soap operas, you be watching like 911 and
All American.
All American.
Yeah, I watch these shows. You never seen him?
I said my girl makes. I didn't know that there was a guy that existed who decided to watch this on his own. Like my girl makes me watch this.
Oh man, that's an insult, man.
I didn't know that there was like a voluntary group of guys who watched All American.
All American is a football show. I mean,
Is it?
I mean, it's filled with other nonsense.
Is it though, Pink?
For me, it's a football show.
There's little to no football.
There is football every goddamn episode. You know what the best part of All American is?
What is it?
The show is called All American. It's focused in Southern California, and the lead actor who plays the guy is a British guy, and when he's not acting, has the craziest British accent you've ever heard.
Who the black kid?
Yeah, the guy who plays Spencer.
No, but like these British actors are just better actors than that stuff.
That you have to think that. I
'Cause,
mean,
like,
it's
'cause
unbelievable.
You watch like Idris Elba in The Wire,
Yeah.
or what's the kid that was on Star Wars, the black kid?
Oh, I didn't watch the rebooted Star Wars at all.
Yeah, me neither.
No, but it was funny. I was watching some interview and like I caught it out of context. And the guy's this major. I'm like, wait a minute, that's the dude from All American. Like, what is he doing? And then
Sean Connery died, by the way. I hate to cut you off. James Bond
Today?
died.
Did he die a while back?
It was yesterday.
Did he really die yesterday?
I think so.
I thought he died like a couple months ago.
Oh, I know.
I've already mourned. I'm good. I bounced back.
I thought that was yesterday. I guess I need to watch All American. I'm just out of the loop. What's going? Is he graduating? Is he going to college? What's going on?
No. With these shows, it's extremely disturbing. So, I think the show's on season 3 or 4.
And he's still in high school.
And these guys are still in high school. Like these are just grown ass men right now.
That's how they are in Miami. And shit. Like those grown. I don't give a fuck what you say. Every time we went to state in high school, we went down south. Those people were adults. They had kids. They had a family.
Did you? Okay. No, the best. Did you see the show? I think they call it Coach Snoop.
Coach Snoop.
With Snoop. Like it
yeah, because like, he has a football.
His football program.
Yeah.
So he runs a team out of Southern California, and it was a series. It was absolutely hysterical. Snoop is, as you'd imagine, fantastic. Right. So, but they have like a traveling football team. So they don't just play kids in L.A. He traveled to Seattle. He traveled to Texas, and he traveled to South Florida to play a game. And what you said is 100% the truth. Snoop's team was basically like middle school age kids that aren't not yet in high school. They played a team in Miami that looked like the 2001 Hurricanes. These were grown ass men. I mean, almost every player was 6 inches taller than the kid on Snoop's team opposite them. It was insane. It was like, what the hell's going on?
Yo, it's true, man. Hey,
yeah, it was nuts.
That All American must be really based on these cats from Miami.
I think
all of these guys are like college level guys. They ain't supposed to be in the 9th grade.
Yeah.
They like twice removed. They stayed back. They've been held back.
They have families.
What's 911 though?
911 is like an emergency drama, and so it's there's a firehouse in the Los Angeles area, and you have the 911 operator. People call with these outrageous scenarios, and then the firehouse station responds to these scenes, and they're actually like shockingly violent and funny. And I think that's why I kind of stayed watching the show for a little bit.
Wait, but it's real?
Well, no, it's not a real show. It's a scripted acted show. It has Angela Bassett. She plays like a cop. She's
she's getting all that money and shit. I saw that. She's getting paid like $400,000.
Yeah. So she has basic premise. She's a police officer. She was married to a guy who turns out to be gay. So he has like a boyfriend.
Who writes this? Tyler Perry?
It could be.
This has to be Tyler Perry.
Or R. Kelly from jail. So, trapped in the closet. I don't know.
Husband turns out to be gay. Now he has a boyfriend. They're still together.
Well, then she starts banging the fire chief. And then they get married. And now they have this weird, like, kind of like three-way dynamic with raising her kids.
Is the fire chief gay now as well?
No, he's straight as far as we
Maybe
know.
she has, like, gay pussy.
Explain.
Like she turns men gay.
Oh, the pussy's so bad. Might as well try a penis. That's the opposite of Erykah Badu, I guess. So yeah, that's crazy. But no, like there was one episode I saw. Like there was apparently like a gas leak in a building that rendered everybody inside the building unconscious. Now the building was a plastic surgery center. And somebody was getting like a face procedure.
Was it the gay husband?
No, he was not involved in the episode. But no, so they had like a lady who was getting a face procedure and passed out, and her face was like literally like skinned off of her. It was like, what the
And they showed it?
Yeah.
What channel does this come on, Pink?
Like Fox, I think. They show stuff that's insane. It's just, there's like really weird, violent stuff that happens in the show.
Pink, it has to be some litigation or some shit that you can be doing.
What, me?
Yeah.
I'm not a litigator, man. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I don't even know what that means, but it has to.
I don't go to court.
Because why are you watching this shit?
It's just on at night. Like you're sitting there.
You need to go to court.
You know, when COVID happened and they cut my sports off for about 2 months,
you had to figure it out. But now sports are back.
Yeah.
Now you have no real reason to be doing it.
I still follow the show.
That was a Tyler Perry show. The husband turns out to be gay. He has a boyfriend. She now has a husband, and she still has a boyfriend who has a gay boyfriend.
She has an ex-husband who has a boyfriend.
Does she still banging the gay ex-husband?
I don't believe so. I think they've severed ties like that.
I've learned more today than I wanted to learn.
That's good.
Man, but I had a great time. Thank you for having me, Pink.
You were excellent.
Bubba was somewhere in the stratosphere, still texting me, making sure things are right. I disregarded and ignored all texts and did it exactly how I wanted to do.
Except for playing the one song.
Except I played Bagavon because he texted me 2 times. Shout out to Juju Osborne. Shout out to thank you.
Shout out to Juju Osborne for working FCAT into that song.
Yeah, I had to go back and listen to that song again and figure out why he said that.
I was impressed.
It caught me off guard. Like
I did.
He said you were taking the FCAT, and I don't know if that was a gangster reference. I don't know.
I thought it was an academic reference, but hey, what do I know?
Thank you for tuning in to On the Bench with Bubba and Pink. Shout out to everybody who's anybody. If you aspire to be anything, you're somebody. Go over to Just Black TV. Subscribe to Just Black TV. It's JUS_BLACK. It's space, capital T, capital V. It's 2 Just Black TVs. Both of them are mine. I use the one with the capital TV on it, man. I'm going to ride up out of here. But before I go, I'm going to play a little bit of Booth Market by Ayo Buddha. You got anything else, Pink?
I'm good. We'll see y'all next week with another show.
And you do know that.
Gorgeous being hot enough for him. Gorgeous being hot in the phone. She see the boy, she cannot ignore. Keep a pole cause I got paranoia. I've been winning like since I was born. I'm a boss, I'ma do what I want. I don't care if I do or I don't. I don't care if I do or I don't. I don't care if I do or I don't. Blessing at the boat market, say your order. Lying on the hood, changing up your stories. You do what you Rays on that Glock, shells drop on the block. From the bottom to the top, from the scales to the bank. Smoking dank in the paint. Real nigga, I don't know what you done think. Don't know what you thought. I just get that guap, I just get that 20, 50, 100 rack. Clientele coming back. I pack my ice up, I'm cold like a freezer. I'm all on my own, had nobody to teach me. I'm shining, watch out, cause I'm known to cause seizures. I'm royalty, ho, you should know how to treat me. I come from the streets, all of these haters so underneath me. I made my jewelry cuddle with me. My bitch where she like leaving puddles for me. Splash, I'm in that coochie so deep. Gorgeous bit hot in the foreign. See the gore, she cannot ignore. Keep a pull cause I got paranoia. I've been winning like since I was born. I'm a boss, I'ma do what I want. I don't care if I do or I don't. I don't care if I do or I don't. Blessing at the bookmark to say your order. Lying on the hood, changing up your stories. You do what you want, I do what's more important. I don't know who you, I don't fuck with law enforcement. 20, 50, 100, nigga, racks on racks. I got clientele coming back. 20, 50, 100, nigga, racks on racks. I got clientele coming back. I come from the streets, all of these haters so underneath me. I made my jewelry cuddle with me. My bitch where she like leaving